The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington Commanders. This is who's in, who's out, and everything you need to know about this game. So, the 6-2 Pittsburgh Steelers come in facing the 7-2 Washington Commanders. And this game will take place at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in Northwest Stadium. The Commanders will be at home and the Steelers will be away. But first, before I get more into the game, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, let's start off with the injury report for both teams. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they come into this game on their current 53-man roster, not dealing with a ton of injuries. Obviously, they have a lot of players on injury reserve, but those aren't the 53-man roster as of right now. So you look at the injury report for this game, and the only person with a game destination is linebacker Nick Herbig, who's out with a hamstring injury. Other than that, they have some players actually returning off of injury. For example, Justin Fields with a hamstring injury. He practiced in full and does not have a game destination, will play. Wide receiver Ben Snowick. You look at him, he was on injury reserve with a shoulder injury. He's actually coming back, and he's a full participant, and he will be playing. Tyler Medikevich, coming off of injury reserve as well with a hamstring injury. He will play. Zach Frazier, who's been out for a while with an ankle injury. He will play as well and be the starting center. You look at someone as in McCole Pruitt with a knee injury, who's been injured. He practiced in full, will play. And also running back and kick returner Cordell Patterson, who's been out for a while now as well with an ankle injury. He's practiced in full and will make his return as well. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are actually getting many players back from the injury list. And this week, on their current roster, the only one who's injured is Nick Herbig. They did have Terrell Edmunds on the injury report out with illness, but he is already going to be out as well because the Steelers actually cut him today. I'll get more into that on a roster update video, but this is the Pittsburgh Steelers injury report for this game against the Washington Commanders. Now, you look at the Washington Commanders injury report, they're dealing with a lot of injuries for this week's game in terms of people actually being out. The cornerback they just traded for from the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore, he's out with a hamstring injury. He's been out for a while now. He'll continue to be out. And you look at tackle Cornelius Lucas with an ankle injury. He's also out from this week's game. Running back Brian Robinson Jr., someone who's a starter on their team or at least shares snaps with Austin Eckler. He will be out as well with a hamstring injury. Tight end Colson Yankoff with a hamstring injury is also out. Their kicker Austin Silbert with a right hip injury is questionable, but I believe they just elevated someone from the practice squad recently. So if I had to guess, I believe their kicker will be out for this week's game. You look at guard and tackle Andrew Weidl with a shoulder injury. He's listed as questionable for this week's game as well. On the game status injury report, there's some other players who missed practice throughout the week but will be playing. So, looking at the Washington Commanders, they have 4 players who are out for this week's game, and then 2 other players who are really up in the air and questionable. So, enough with the injuries. Let's talk about this game now, because this is going to be an interesting game from both sides of the teams. Because you look at the Steelers, they made 2 trades, and they're getting a lot of players back from injured reserve and also just injury this week. So it's a lot of new players playing together for the first time. And for example, Mike Williams. It's going to be interesting to see how the Pittsburgh Steelers get him utilized in the offense. Is he going to be playing a lot? Are they just going to kind of integrate him in there and do it very slowly? Will Russell Wilson target him on deep balls, in which we saw in his past with the Chargers? Will he be the same player that he used to be, or will he be the player that he was with the Jets? It's going to be interesting to see him in his development with the Steelers within the next few weeks. But Mike Williams should be playing in this week's game, unless for some reason he's made inactive. But I believe he will be playing. Same with Preston Smith. I believe Preston Smith might see a helmet. This one's more up in the air for me in terms of will he be inactive or will he actually be playing for this week's game to get him integrated to the team. But Preston Smith, Mike Williams, it's going to be interesting to see how they fit in with this team if they do indeed get playing time. Also, all the injuries coming back, getting your center back is going to be massive. Zach Frazier, one of the best centers in the league as a rookie. So getting him back will really help the pass game, the run game. So it's going to be really good for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are on a roll right now, scoring more than 30 points in multiple games in a row. It's going to be really, really good for them to get these players back and get their team rolling and make a late playoff push even further. Right now, they're at the top of the AFC North Division, one of the teams at the top of the conference. So getting these players back can only help them. So the Steelers, they come into this game, and this is going to be interesting from their side of the ball. Just to kind of go over this game, what to expect from the Steelers. Once again, just running the ball, getting Najee Harris going. He's getting over 100 yards in multiple games now. So getting the running game going, getting Jalen Warren going as well, and the short passing game, the run game, out wide runs, and then also just having play action off of it. That's what Russell Wilson has succeeded at the last 2 weeks. The play action off of the run, hitting big plays. Hopefully Calvin Austin continues to have a big week and puts up big numbers as a wide receiver number 2. As of right now, continue showing out next to George Pickens, making his life easier and making less attention on him. So that's what to expect from the Steelers side of the ball on offense. And then defense is obviously play great run defense, play great defense in terms of zone coverage, man coverage, and make it hard for a rookie quarterback. The Steelers usually do a really good job against rookies, and it's against Jaden Daniels. I'll get more into this in a little bit, but you have to look at him a little bit like Lamar Jackson. And the Steelers are used to playing Lamar Jackson and shutting him down. So it should not be a problem facing Jaden Daniels, someone they're used to facing. Now, looking from the Washington Commanders side of the ball, before I get into that, Jaden Daniels, a running quarterback, throwing quarterback. He just does it all. He does it all for the team. He can win games by himself on offense. Austin Eckler is a player who's really good in the screen game, in the short passing game. So you have to be aware of the dump offs to him and him breaking off long runs as well, both in the receiving and the running game. He's a player at this point in his career. He's not going to be an every down type of bruising type of back, but he's a player who could break it for a long one every now and then. So you have to be aware of that, and then be aware of basically Terry McLaurin, because he is the lone top receiver for the Washington Commanders. Other players like Noah Brown are obviously to watch out for, but Terry McLaurin is the one that you have to keep an eye on because he's their best player on offense other than Jaden Daniels. So Terry McLaurin, put your best cornerback on him or double team him and shut him down. So that's what you're going to have to look out for the Washington Commanders, the deep shots to Terry McLaurin, and then the dump off game and the short game, the run game. So the Washington Commanders, you have to watch out for their defense as well, creating turnovers. But anyway, all in all, this should be a really, really good game with two really good teams atop of their conference and divisions. So you look at this game, and like I said, the Steelers are used to playing Lamar Jackson and shutting him down, creating turnovers from him, and really stopping his passing game, his running game, and just stopping the Ravens whenever they face Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has little success against the Steelers, and Jaden Daniels is a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. I believe he's making maybe a little bit better passer and less of a runner, but he is a type of player who's the same. So you should really have success against him if you've had success against Lamar Jackson. But it should really be the same type of way you defend him. I believe play the Commanders, play Jaden Daniels the same way you would play the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, and you should be fine in this game because you've done it in the past. You know how to defend them, so just do it the same way. Anyway, that's enough for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this game. Who do you believe will win? I believe the Steelers take this one. I believe the Steelers are on a roll. They've been on a roll. They're coming off a bye week. They had a whole 2 weeks to prepare for the Commanders, so they should be playing well unless they're rusty. So I believe the Steelers win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, go over to the community page on this channel, the community tab. I have a vote up right now. Go vote on if you think the Steelers or the Commanders will win. And also let me know down in the comments below of this video and who do you think will have an impact on the game and what to watch out for. Also, before you click off of this video, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, everything. Covering Steelers, I do it. So stay on this channel. Stay in tuned with everything going on surrounding this team. And until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.